Thank you very much. As I anticipated this morning, I'm going to talk about the United Nations World Health Organization International Conference on Space and Global Health that took place in Geneva in November last year. But first, I would like to recap. So this morning I mentioned COPUOS, the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Use of Outer Space, that has 102 member states and a huge number of also observer organizations. COPUOS meets
Jorge, sorry, I interrupt you because I think that you could try to do something with the system because your voice is not really understandable here.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, this is much better. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So let's keep like that. So as I was mentioning, I'm going to talk about the conference that took place in Geneva, but first I wanted to recap and again stress the role of COPUOS, the Committee on the Peaceful Use of the Space of the United Nations. It meets every year in June. And it's supported by two subcommittees, one that is meeting in February, the Scientific and Technical Subcommittee, and another one that is meeting in March, April, that is the Legal Subcommittee. It's important to keep this in mind because every year the United Nations, based on the work of these committees, issue a resolution on the peaceful uses of outer space. In 2022, on top of the resolution on the peaceful uses of outer space from the General Assembly also issued a resolution on space and global health. And there was the recognition during this resolution of the Space and Global Health Network and platform, and also to keep the conversations at United Nations level on space and global health. So basically, to implement the resolution that was out, and to support the work of the Space and Global Health Network and platform, we organized the conference together with WHO and the World Health Organization, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, the Space and Global Health Network, the European Space Agency, and the government of Switzerland. And this conference was focusing basically on four areas: telemedicine and telehealth, teleepidemiology and environmental health, space, life sciences, and disaster and health emergency management. You can see that the topics are not only related to Earth observation, they are much broader, because the resolution is space for global health. It's not only Earth observation. The conference was attended by 171 persons, but we had many more registrations, and the office provided funding for some of the participants. The results of the conference, the full report is already available in the 6 official languages. I think I have put the link in the chat. You have the QR code there to download it. Also, there was further acknowledgement of the Space and Global Health Network platform, and you have the link on the conference there. And the conference acknowledged the implementation, which is the tool that the Space Global Health Network and platform have put together basically to exchange information among the members. There are several recommendations out of the conference, and I'm going to mention a few that I think they are relevant for the discussion here. The first one is on policies and regulation and organizational and technical interoperability. So we need to advance. I mean, the two worlds of space and health are a little bit disconnected still, and there are a lot of opportunities to advance on interoperability. So actually, one of the recommendations was to advance on that, but not only on that, but also on understanding issues and concerns concerning policies and regulations. There was this more pertaining to Earth observation. There was concern about, well, there are applications already happening and already working that are supporting health. So we need to understand better those to understand better the requirements of EO sensors for each application, and to identify the potential needs for very high resolution data for some of the applications. But not only that, we need to ensure that when there is a variable that is useful for health and is monitored, there is no gaps, no monitoring gaps. And it was also recommended to create a list of public health monitoring requirements and essential variables that can be captured by space systems in order to reduce these monitoring gaps. As you probably know, there is a list of essential climate variables that are basically for that. These are essential to monitor climate. So the idea is to create something similar but for health, to ensure that space systems that are being conceived now are also taking into account that as a requirement. And we also understood that, okay, there are a lot of gaps, but we need to start bridging the knowledge gaps from the start, from the beginning. So there is also the recommendation of creating a space and global health curriculum and a comprehensive list of use cases to drive capacity building and awareness raising efforts. These are some of the recommendations. I have not selected all, but these are very prominent. And you may think, what is going to happen next and how you can contribute to this work? Well, the Space and Global Health Network is the platform. The Space and Global Health Network, it's very much strongly supported by the General Assembly resolution. In fact, it's so much supported that the Space and Global Health Network has to report to the Scientific and Technical Subcommittee that this year happens in basically 2 weeks. So member states are informed of the work that is carried out in the context of the Space and Global Health Networks to support the resolution. There will be, to my knowledge, 2 meetings during the Scientific and Technical Subcommittee. If you want to participate in those meetings, there is a statement of intent to join the Space and Global Health Network. You can either join as an individual or as an organization. And basically you have to sign this statement of intent that is, I mean, it's very light. So there are not a lot of commitments put on you, and send it to the email address that is in the slide. Also, basically, space agencies, health authorities are encouraged to engage with the Space and Global Health Network to have their voices heard and basically to advance on the implementation of the recommendations in a better way and in a more inclusive way. And that's very important. So if you want to be part of these discussions and advance on those recommendations, on any of the recommendations that were put forward by this conference that took place in Geneva, please join the Space and Global Health Network and the meetings that are going to happen. You will be informed about those by the Space and Global Health Network. So we definitely count on your participation. With that, thank you very much for your attention.